Hey everyone, Justin here with SF Garnish Music Production. Today I'm going to talk about how you can set up your OBS to your Zoom account and also stream into your Restream and use your DAW, your digital audio workstation, whether it be Logic, Pro Tools, or Ableton, which is the ones that we're teaching at Garnish Music. And I'm going to start off by just talking about OBS. It is a way to use a switcher. I have an extra keypad over here. Let me just see if you guys can see this. So I purposely got this gaming keyboard because it has the regular numbers up here, but it also has this extra keypad right over here. So I set up my switcher to be able to function with these so that all of my shortcut codes using Ableton work well, and I don't accidentally change between screens. So the reason why I'm talking about this video is I want to get your home studio set up to where you can teach and do your streaming in a good way. So what we have here is the ability to use Iriun.com, IRIUN.com, for an extra camera angle using an iPhone 8. I believe iPhone 6 or above should work. And this is also showing the setup that I have here to do teaching in music. I have the push to up here. It's really good to be able to switch between different instruments and channels on the DAW and being able to have that come up on the screen for everyone that you're teaching on Zoom, or if you're streaming that out through Restream. I'm going to get into that too. I also have a little DJ setup over here to where I can bring in music at any point, right? And it's using DJ Pro, which allows me to stream music from my computer or Spotify, iTunes, a bunch of different accounts. So pretty simple. And I have the Serato DDJ SB2 as just a basic controller for it. I have an X-Air 18 as my audio interface. Really, any audio interface works. The Duo iRig, iRig Pro is probably the smallest one that you could probably get, or just the iRig. It's just one channel, but the Duo is great because you can have your multiple inputs if you need, if you're doing multiple instrumentation and teaching that. And then also using OBS, I have this screen intro. Okay, I'm just going to play it for you guys right now so you guys can see it, and this is what hopefully you can create for yourself and your product in the beginning of your videos. All right, so that's the intro, and what I did was I used our video editing to put together a little bit of a clip, animation, and then I used Ableton to create some sound effects with that to start the videos. You can also see them in the other videos on our YouTube page if you want to check that out in the intros. And let's see, this next screen I'm going to share. This is the Zoom room. Okay, and I put the logo down below on the bottom right here. You can see. And what you want to be able to do is share your screen from Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and share. Let's see, let's try really anything. Actually, I'm going to share this OBS screen. All right, so now I'm sharing the OBS screen. You can do this to share your DAW if you're teaching Ableton or Logic. And this should go out really nicely to the Zoom clients, the students, or if you have special guests, probably through Zoom would be a good way to do that. Let's see here. What other camera angles? Okay, now I have this special setup here where you guys are looking at my DAW. This is Ableton, and I have the logo on the top. So if this is Garnish.tv, for example, you can put that up on the top. West Coast Wednesdays on the bottom is what I'm going to name this because we're going to start in February, 11 a.m. to noon Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing West Coast Wednesdays, teaching you some simple tricks in Ableton Live 10 Suite and going through some instrumentation, being able to do live looping and tracking with all these different instruments that we have. So if you haven't checked that out, please check it out. And Garnish.tv, if you haven't checked that out, we're going to be doing a show every day of the week, starting in February from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So try and put that on your calendar. Check it out at Garnish.tv, coming out soon. So going back into the OBS controls. So here we have this screen here. And the goal is that when you play, I'm actually using my push 2 to control this. So it's a nice way to be able to start clips and not have to use the mouse so much and go around. But when you start playing this, you want to make sure that your music is at a level to where you can still hear the voice.
I wanna go down the coast to where the big waves roll. I wanna see.
So I'm at -10. I think between -10 and -14 is often what I'm teaching at, so that people can hear the music, but they can also hear my voice over the top of the music. If you obviously want to feature the music, you can bring it up back to nominal. Another great feature of the push 2 is being able to go into the specific channels that you want to feature. So I'm on the master channel where I have some effects.
To our souls and more. Appreciate the smallest things when we're here for.
Sit back, relax, and find peace to be safe. Standing still and moving slowly like the big trees teach. Teach our children to play like dirt and water to make mud right. Mess turns to laughter and divide turns to prayer like. Respect throughout community, differences bow down to. History shows us how we must find paths to strive through. So you can mess around with your effects and make sure that your students or your class online that you're streaming out can see what you're doing. So I definitely suggest using some controller like the Push 2 that kind of highlights whatever you're working on, whatever channel you're working on. All right. You can also set up really any MIDI controller, but just the Push 2 is so set up for Ableton, as we all know, because it was made by Ableton. All right. So another scene that I have set up and I talked about a little bit is this Irian camera, and I have my other camera angle right here showing up. It's also showing up, let's see, in this angle. So this angle right here is a Canon T5i camera, and it's set up through USB, connected in using, let me just make sure I have this correct, Camera Live and CamTwist. That's also how I am showing up in Zoom to clients, and that's how you get that nice effect of me being in focus and the instruments in the back being just a little bit out of focus, because I think I have a 50 millimeter lens that does that effect. So these are things that you obviously don't have to have, but it will up your professionalism and your visual quality. Some of the other details on how to set up the CamTwist and Camera Live and the Canon T5i camera is in previous videos, if you want to check that out. I also have another video previously that talks about setting up your digital audio workstation with Zoom. I'm sure you guys have done some of that already, but yeah, those details could be really nice. So the goal here is that you can use OBS to share your different things that you want to teach, right? So for me, I'm teaching music. I want to be able to have a nice control over here, which is the Push 2, some extra DJ controls over here. And I have a couple screens so that I can actually have the visual necessary. Over here is my DAW. So Ableton is sitting over here. So when I'm teaching, I can kind of be in this place working on stuff. And something that I just want to share with you briefly is that all of this is customizable in OBS. Okay, so all this color scheme around this second angle, and for example, I'm facing the kind of like the wrong direction right here. I want to change that, so I can literally just go over and move that. So I'm moving within OBS, and then I can place my camera angle back where I want it. Maybe get a little bit bigger. All right, so something like that. Now this is something that is kind of unnecessary for this specific angle, but this second angle of Irian, right? This angle over here that we're looking at, this is an angle that I would probably, if I'm teaching push 2 and Ableton, I would have an overhead directly on the push 2. If I'm teaching DJing, it would be right over my DJ and that computer. So it's just being able to have your main angle that people can really see your face, and then also your second angle that can feature your instrument. This might even be a second angle on a guitar or ukulele or stand-up bass. So let's see here. So Iriun.com, IRIUN.com. It's free. So check out that link if you can. That should help out. What else do I want to say about OBS? I'm not sharing this upper screen up here, but you can kind of see that all of my controls in OBS are up there. There's a lot of settings that you're going to want to learn in OBS. You're also going to want to make sure that your computer can handle running your DAW, running Zoom, which is down here, and running the OBS, which is your switcher and sending out your signal to Restream. You can also check how much CPU is being used. And what I often do is if something is using, 75 CPU or something, I might use an external computer. I have a little laptop MacBook Air over here, and I often log into Restream on that computer, completely separate from where I'm running my DAW and OBS, so that I'm just running the least amount of programs on the computer that I'm wanting to run smooth video and smooth audio simultaneously. Another thing that if you do have the budget for it, you could possibly get a Mac Mini at the kind of the brand new Mac Mini. I think it goes for about $1,050 or $1,100, 8 RAM, and then buy the extra 2 16 gig RAMs to bring it up to 32 RAM. It took me about an hour to install the RAM, and it ended up becoming a computer that if you bought that 32 RAM computer up front brand new, it would be almost $2,000. So I saved about $600 that way, and it just took me an extra hour of time to install it myself. You do have to get some little screws and bolts and nuts, small itty bitty ones. Like I said, this might be overkill for what you're going for your teaching setup at home, but knowing that the pandemic has lasted longer than a lot of us expected, this might be something that you might want to invest in moving forward, because it looks like even though the vaccine's coming out, the pandemic in some way, shape, or form may be lasting years to come, and we may be quarantining on and off for some time. And then beyond that, you'll just have the ability to teach from your home location. Another thing to check out is, what is your internet speed? Speedtest.net is a way you can test that. And when I first tested that myself, let's go into an angle here that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Speedtest.net. All right, you guys are seeing this now. So speedtest.net, I would really encourage you to do this test. All you have to have is your internet connection, go online and go to speedtest.net, and then press go. And what it measures is your download and upload speed. That's what you're kind of paying attention to. Your pings also. Now your download speed, when I first did this, I was at 100 download, and my upload was about 3 to 5 megabytes. So 100 megabytes download and 3 to 5 megabytes upload. And then because I knew I wanted to do some streaming from home, I upgraded to, they were saying it was 300 download and 10 upload. And as you can see here, it's not quite at 300 right now, probably because there's people online utilizing it. But I'm close to 300, and then my upload is almost at 12, right? So my upload, which is I'm trying to send out the signal of my OBS and restream, and my upload speed is really important to get that signal out in a really nice flowing way. So if you have an internet connection that is 100 or below download or 5 or below upload, that will affect your quality of your audio and video, specifically your video. You could even turn off your video probably, and it will increase your ability to have clean audio coming through. So just something to look into, making sure that your internet is fast enough for doing the streaming from your location, right? And like I said before, I think my upgrade in my area, I paid an extra $15 a month to go from 100 download to 300 download, and the upload from 5 to over 10. This is, out in Grass Valley, California. If I was in the Bay Area, I believe the studio in North Oakland, where SF Garnish is located, is, I think, 2,000 download and 2,000 upload because of fiber optics. So if I really was closer to that, that would be a lot easier to stream from, having no issue at all. But the 300 or that 229 that I'm at is kind of what you're seeing here. For example, like the quality of this video and using OBS. All right, so going back to our DAW, this is if you're teaching electronic music production, which is what we do at SF Garnish and Garnish overall. You're going to want to make sure that you have your setup to where people can see your full screen. And you can obviously do that in Zoom, right? Just share a screen and pop in your DAW on that specific screen. But what's nice about OBS is your logo, your verbiage you can put over the top. You can put, what you want in this area right here, right? West Coast Wednesdays, 11 to 12, or whatever you're doing, so that people understand how to get in touch with you and when next time you'll be online. Okay, so I didn't quite go into the details of how to use OBS and how to connect your DAW to Zoom. And I do have some videos for that I'll try and link in the description below, so you have some more information on that. There are some great videos out there on how to set up your OBS. So I really suggest you download the program, get situated with it, make sure that your internet is fast enough and your computer is fast enough. Okay, specifically your RAM. If you run out of your space on your SSD, hopefully your SSD or solid state drive, that will also slow down your computer considerably. I found that out. So make sure that you have enough space, maybe like 50 free gigs on your drive on your computer as well, your storage. If you have any questions, please comment below on this. You can also reach me at sf@garnishmusicproduction.com, and I'd be happy to help you try and set up your home studio setup or your studio setup, and we can go from there. So thanks again for watching, and I hope this gave you a look at how we are doing our home setup here at Soul Graffiti Studios Remote, and I'll see you in the near future. Take care.